event. He is unavoidably absent right now, but he has sent in some person to represent him. So representing Ikwerre LGA chairman in the studio right now is Okachi Ordu. He hails from Mbodo community in Alu. Okachi Ordu, good evening to you. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Good evening and good evening to the listeners. You're welcome.
All right, so just to be clear, you hail from Alu community, and Alu is one of the two communities contending for this particular piece of land. Am I right?
Very correct.
Okay, great. So can you give some a brief history of this property and how it became to be a contentious matter as to which community actually owns it, whether it's Rumuagholu or Alu?
Yes, sincerely speaking, the land in question belongs to Mbodo Alu community and Rumuagholu community because we have a common boundary on that land. And that land has never been a subject of dispute between Mbodo Alu and Rumuagholu community. But surprisingly, the activities of some individuals, some elements trying to grab the entire land for reasons best known to them is what we don't understand. So the Ikwerre local government chairman, whom they accused, is grabbing land or coming to take over the land is not issue. And the land discovered that some persons, Okachi and one Mike, were bulldozing land with presence of heavily armed policemen. And if when you're taking what belongs to you, you don't need police, you don't need security to go and do that. And the station policemen here and there everywhere bulldozing the land. And we had to go there, and to avoid problem, to avoid breakdown of law and order, the Ikwerre local government chairman, Dr. Engineer decided to wade into the matter because we actually led the complaint to him. And as a responsible government who swore an oath to protect lives and properties of his people, you don't sit down and allow two communities to go on war, to go at war. Hence, he decided to wade into this matter. And the matter was almost resolved. But unfortunately, the then CDC chairman, Okachi and his cohorts decided to do what they did by entering the land, even without the consent of recognized persons and individuals in their own community, creating problems in their own community.
And their community is Rumuagholu.
Creating problems in their own Rumuagholu community. Even at the initial stage, all of them were coming. At the stage, the Okachi and his own cohort decided not to come, while others were coming. Other persons, individuals, group of persons from Rumuagholu were coming for the peace discussions. But to our greatest surprise, we discovered that they were busy allotting land, selling land, doing whatever they are doing on the land. Position policemen, armed policemen, watching over land day and night. And then
now, you say that the piece of land has never been a contentious matter.
Very correct.
Now, if it was not contentious, why was there a need for any peace dialogue or reconciliation?
No, what I said that it has not been in contention from time immemorial. We've not had any issue whatsoever over the land. We know our boundaries. My whole community know our boundaries. We know the boundaries. But it was sometime last year that we discovered this particular attitude of some persons. And the attitude is tantamount to creating communal crisis.
Now, you say that the piece of land is owned by both communities.
It's a vast land that's owned. Mbodo has where Mbodo community land started and terminated. Where Rumuagholu has where their own land started and terminated. We have a common boundary. That's what I mean by that.
Okay, so this persons whom you say are selling off part of the land, albeit illegally, they are from Rumuagholu community.
They are from Rumuagholu community.
So Rumuagholu has its portion of that land.
Very correct.
And where its boundary ends, its ownership of the land ends as well.
Very correct.
So this part of the land that's being sold off or being bulldozed to be sold off, as you said, does it fall within the Rumuagholu side of the land?
It falls within the both communities. They have invaded that of the Rumuagholu and the Mbodo communities all together. That is it. That is the crux of the problem.
Okay, you insist that the land is owned by both communities. However, some persons have a different opinion on that. The OSPA commander and Rumuagholu Prince-Imade insists that the Rumuagholu community has a subsisting court judgment of 1961 proving its ownership of the land. I'd like to play back some of what is said to our reporter on the matter.
We have a Supreme Court judgment outstanding. So him as a local government chairman in Ikwerre local government calling on us for discussion with Rumuagholu, I see it as uncalled for. I'm using this medium to call on the governor of Rivers State, Chief Barrister Zebunwenye Sonwike, CON, to call Samuel Wanosike to order. He shouldn't be dabbling into chieftaincy matter in Rumuagholu. He's not a member of Rumuagholu community. Neither is he having any land at Minimba. He shouldn't use his political office to intimidate people at Rumuagholu community.
Are you aware of this Supreme Court judgment that it talks about?
In the course of our roundtable discussion of trying to provide solution to the problem, they actually brought in a Supreme Court judgment, and that Supreme Court judgment was between Rumuagholu, and Rumuagholu community, not Mbodo and Alo. And as a matter of fact, a judgment has a disputed plan. Every land judgment has a disputed plan. And the disputed plan was tendered. And this same disputed plan was tendered before every person's. And in the course of the discussion, the chairman of council decided and urged every communities in question, tender every relevant document that portrays that the land belongs to you. And Rumuagholu community tendered the Supreme Court judgment and tendered the disputed survey plan.
What do you mean by disputed survey plan?
Yeah, in a land case, every parties will go and make a survey plan showing clearly where their land starts and where it terminates. It is based on that our court will give their judgment. And as a matter of fact, this Supreme Court disputed survey plan was tendered. And in the wisdom of the chairman, he decided and said and urged every community to engage the services of an independent surveyor. In Rumuagholu community engaged the services of one surveyor, the former Surveyor General of Rivers State. Mbodo community engaged the service of a little surveyor of something A.C. Owakwe. Rumuagholu community engaged through Mrs. Blessed Angola, engaged another surveyor. And the chairman of Ikwerre local government engaged the council surveyor and applied to the CP, the then CP, for security to allow the parties to go there and superimpose this various plan. And it was discovered that this disputed survey plan, this Supreme Court judgment, did not get to where they are talking about today. And once it was discovered, Amadi decided not to come for the peace meeting again. Once it was discovered that this survey plan, this so-called Supreme Court judgment survey plan, did not come closer to where they are grabbing, they decided to run away from the discussions.
Let's go back a bit. So there is a Supreme Court judgment. What was that judgment?
The judgment of the Supreme Court actually awarded the area in contention between them, Rumuagholu and Rumuagholu to them.
Okay.
The judgment did not cover the area we're talking about today. Remember, I said there was a disputed survey plan which was brought in. And this survey plan has to be established on ground to show where did it start and where did it terminate. In the course of doing this, their own son, who was the then Surveyor General of Rivers State, who was their own surveyor, they discovered the committee of surveyors discovered that the survey plan did not in any way come closer to the land they are talking about today, to the land they are grabbing today. It was never part of the area didn't come close to the Supreme Court judgment. So therefore, the area we're talking about did not cover the Supreme Court judgment. It had been established.
All right. So also, there's an allegation that the Ikwerre Council Chairman, Dr. Samuel Wanosike, also may have purchased or maybe owns some of the property, some land in the disputed property at the moment, which is why he's showing some interest. And the allegation is that because of his personal interest in the land, there's some bias, as far as his mediating per se is concerned.
When you say that he has an interest, who sold to him? He's not from Bodalo, and is from Rumuagholu community. So where did the interest come in?
Do I have to be from your community to own a piece of land?
Of course, someone from my community will sell to you before you own the property.
Precisely.
Yes, of course.
Couldn't he have bought it from someone?
You must buy from someone who is from that community. You can't just come from maybe from Delta and you jump into a land. No, you must buy from an indigene. Who did he buy from? Mbodop has not sold. Neither the Rumuagholu sold land to any persons before this issue. So where did he buy? Where is his interest coming from? From which side? Is it from Rumuagholu or is it from border community? That's not correct.
Well, we have to go for a commercial break now. When we return, the conversation will continue. Remember, you can join in via Facebook and Twitter at Nigerian for PH. The number to call once the line's open, 0700 923 093. Please stay with us. Hard Fact returns in a bit. Port Harcourt Amidaya, 4:30 p.m. Discussions are on, and the matter is still remains the same for this hour. Leadership of Rumuagholu community and Obiakpo local government area has accused the Ikwerre Council chairman, Dr. Samuel Wanasike, of creating tension in the area. A chief in Rumuagholu community, Chinedu Madin, who spoke to journalists, alleged the council chairman is encroaching on the community's land called Miniba and attempting to create a parallel CDC and dividing the Rumuagholu traditional institution. Again, here's some of what he had to say.
We on our own find out that Ikwerre local government chairman, which is Wanasike, he is being so biased on this matter. We even have it that he bought part of our land. That is one of the reasons his vested interest in the land. He is trying to create communal war by trying to flag illegitimate person to challenge our paramount ruler, Ezebekule Wele, who is the Royal Highness and paramount ruler of Rumuagholu.
However, a chief in Rumuagholu community, Obiakpo local government area, is a Samuel Kinekawan says it's not true that Dr. Samuel is interfacing with the people of Alu and Rumuagholu communities on how to resolve the boundary dispute.
We are here trying to refute that information. It's a false information. Ikwerre local government chairman, there wasn't any time he has come here to drag land or to talk of any plot he will not carry on his own. Rather, he is looking for peace. And we are here to solicit and beg the government to aid us so that we can get the peace. In absence of those people who are so greedy, Mikey and the former CDC chairman, Comrade Okachi Ordu, who is so selfish, we don't want them and we don't need them again. If they should continue, we are ready to arrest and send them to prison.
All right, this questions are on. Once again, asking you, what is the local government chairman's role in resolving land disputes, and any other thoughts you have regarding this matter? Let's hear it. Lines, not yet. Lines not open, but you can join me via Facebook and Twitter at Nigerian Page. I still have my guests in the studio here, representing the Ikwerre Local Government Council Chairman, Dr. Samuel Wanasike. I've got Okachi Ordu here. Welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
All right. So, you say that the chairman has no interest in the property, is simply trying to mediate, to interface, not interfere, to ensure that the situation is resolved and does not escalate beyond whatever level it might be at this time. However, the persons who are all the warring parties, if I may use the term warring parties, and I use it very lightly, just like you said a while ago, you acknowledged that there is some Supreme Court judgment, but for a different matter entirely, that did not involve Alu community at that time, between Rumuagholu and some other communities. And upon further investigation, has been determined that even the Supreme Court court's judgment and the land over which that judgment covered does not include the disputed land at this time. So if there is some dispute now, which you say did not exist before now or from time immemorial, but you have a dispute now, are these persons, Amadi and Co., are they bound by any efforts of the Ikwerre Local Government Council Chairman to be a part of this interface or this peace initiative, if one may refer to it as that? In your estimation, and I gather you are a lawyer, am I right? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so are they bound to be a part of any peace initiative by anyone, including the local government council chairman?
No, it is their own prerogative to say either to be part of it or not to be part of it. But what is important is that the hierarchy of the community, are they part of the peace talk? Those responsible, those that has those that have the responsibility of bringing peace in the community. The community heads, the family heads, are they part of the peace talk? Yes, they are. I want to tell you that the Oke Amade, whom is claiming to be a chief, is not even a chief in that community. Even though I'm not from that community. Oke Amade is just the former CDC chairman. And you see the problem we have in Africa and the problem we have in Nigeria. Once your tenure elapses, you begin to find a way to elongate your tenure. Oke Amade's tenure in that community has elapsed as the CDC chairman. And what does he want to achieve? He wants to ensure that he sells every property after action was conducted. The same person won the current election, now who is the current citizen of the community, was part of his cabinet before. So in this case, now that the power is no longer resting on him, he has decided to create problem in his community. The question you will ask me now, Are those people that matters in that community, are they part of the peace talk? I will tell you, yes, they are.
Now, some of the allegations levied against the council chairman, Dr. Wanaseke, is that you mentioned the position of the CDC chairman now, is that he's creating a parallel CDC chairman as interfering in the traditional institution in Rumuagholu community. Can you speak to that?
That is not correct. He's more part of his LGA. Rumuagholu is not the local government. Rumuagholu is not part of Ikwerre local government. Wherein you will say that the chairman is trying to instigate crisis in that community. He's not from the Obiakpo local government. Neither is he the chairman of Obiakpo local government. So how come? How is it possible that he will not go? Is it when I conduct election? No. How is it possible that he will not go and create problem in where his power did not get to? That is not his jurisdiction.
Now, speaking of Obiakpo local government areas, interesting you mentioned that because the two communities belong to two different local government areas. Ado belongs to Ikwerre, am I right? Ikwerre LGA. Now, Rumuagholu belongs to Obiakpo local government area. Now, you said that complaint was lodged to the office of the Ikwerre Council chairman, which is why he has decided to wade into the matter to interface and try to resolve the situation. How about the Obiakpo local government council chairman, where Rumuagholu falls within? Was any complaint addressed to him, and is the Obiakpo council chairman possibly interfacing with his Ikwerre counterpart or making any moves at all to resolve this matter as well?
That I cannot authoritatively answer. Reason being that they may have interface within themselves, but truth be told, when there is whatever that will cause crisis, whoever that bridges the problem, whoever that bridges the crisis, is immaterial where the person is coming from. And let me also tell you that even someone from any other place can come in and bring forth peace in both communities. We are two brothers. Of course, we are from different local government, but we are Ikwerre people. Obiakpo is Ikwerre, Ikwerre is Ikwerre, Emoha is Ikwerre, Faga is Ikwerre. So whoever that bring forth peace, is what is important is let there not be bloodshed over land. Land is here we came, and it also remain here we go. So is there any need for us to kill ourselves? No. The answer is no. That's not to me, no.
What is the current situation of things as we speak?
No, the current situation now as we speak is that complaints were made to the CP, to the current Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, over the activities of policemen and activities of land grabbers. And the CP extended invitation to all the parties involved. And 3 occasions were before the CP. The so-called Okemani refused to come. The land grabber himself refused to come. The so-called OSPA commander, OSPA chairman refused to come. The second invitation the CP extended, they all refused to come. Until the CP gave a stern warning that if they don't come, that he will fight, that he's going to enforce arrest on them. And the last invitation, they came on Friday. They were there on Friday before the CP. The CP was represented by the Deputy Commissioner of Police Operation.
And what transpired on Friday?
Of course, every person led the community. Those responsible in the community decided to tell the CP what has happened. We laid our own complaint on what has happened over the land and everything. The CP saw it clearly that the intention of Wanaseke was to bring forth peace in both communities, and decided and urged both communities to go back to round table with him. That we should go back to round table with him. That we should go back, pleaded with both communities. Look at the effort he has made. These are reports. These are stages. He has applied before the office. They gave policemen. Each community go there, show us your boundaries, show us everything. The both communities pay the surveyors. Mbodo paid their own surveyors. Rumuagholu paid their own surveyors. Mr. Bola paid, Mr. Amadi paid their own surveyor. And they were there for over 60 days or 70, if I'm not mistaken, 60 to 70 days in that bush, trying to establish the boundaries, trying to establish the Supreme Court judgment, trying to establish all the papers that were tendered by each community and everything. They did all these things. But when it became obvious to them that yes, the Supreme Court judgment didn't get to where they are, and that the power in their community has left them, the power has shifted to another person, they decided to become another community on their own.
Now, since Friday last week, after the meeting at the CP's office, till today, What is the current status of discussions?
The current status of discussion that in BCP's office, we all both agreed, including them, who agreed that we are meeting tomorrow by 10 o'clock for further peace discussion.
Wednesday?
Yes, tomorrow Wednesday by 10 a.m. We both agreed, including them, we all both agreed before the CP that go back home, go and make peace. Talk to your brothers. You don't need to kill yourself. We don't need to die over all these things. All these things were there before we came. These things were left by our forefathers. They were the ones, and they didn't kill themselves. Of what need do we kill ourselves?
For there to be discussions or negotiations, that means that both parties or whatever number of parties are involved must be making certain demands. Now, what are the demands that you and possibly some other parts of Rumuagholu are making, and what are the demands that Amandi and his group are making?
No, the demands we are making is that let there be peace.
And peace means what exactly?
Let there be peace. Let us come together, establish where you take what belongs to you, I take what belongs to me. You don't take your own and take my own. Or in their own community, they also want to take everything that belongs to their community. And let me tell you, my dear brother, remember that even when we talk about community, there are individuals that also own that land in a community. In a community, there are individuals that own that land. And this same group of persons, this few individuals in the community want entire community, and they allow us peace.
So what is the group? What are they demanding? Have they voiced demands yet?
The demand they are making is that they want to sell the whole land to the side.
They've actually voiced this.
They want to take from them their intention. You can use that they want to grab the whole land themselves. In this same land, there's so much they are using only court offering to claim of the land. I said, my dear brother, you can't do that. You won't give to me. So just what is your own community? I don't get off the employee based on my. You don't tell me my community.
How do we talk about this person has been offered 200 plus?
I mean, let's shock you now. That's okay. This say what is of the city. On record, and when an ended agreement with Olangra Mike, where they agreed whatever they wanted, and when they requested to him before, how many plots have agreed? He had not one something plot, and he has taken something plot. Muslim will take 300 something plot. In whose land will you take 300 plot? If it's your own, if the land actually belongs to you, will you offer him 10% of the land? The answer is no.
The line's room right now. John mentioned severally live on facebook.com/NigeriaPH. That's live on facebook.com/NigeriaPH. Live on Twitter at NigeriaPH. That's out to the matter and has been called 700 93 093. Hello, hi.
Yeah,
hi, go ahead.
Please, you get in your studio. I don't know this, of course, but I heard the statement from the beginning of the program. I've come to that. I think I believe him. It's about the facts, and the man has really for him to say what was it in secret, openly, without minding the treaty of it.
On Facebook, people just wake up and count sources' name, team, nothing. Right on through. Hello, welcome.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi, go ahead.
I am following that case. There is a person I really will before the grabber.
Yeah.
Someone in 300 some person in. So, from my understanding, it's just something that they are going to account. I mean, a family member who is saying all that, which of course is tenable. It's not there anywhere.
Question was quite silly. President, is it possible for you to own 100 plots of land?
Some circumstances could be possible, but in this.
All right, let's just start. Once again, 0700 93 096. This land, because my late father was on dead in that land, so I just could find to kill her. 20. Once again, 0700 93 093. Hello, hard fight to welcome. Please go on.
Hello.
Hello. We've got before some crime. Was it ever of any?
Has never been subject dispute in the town community. This not started that we didn't grab at some persons from all of the communities. So there was no one boundary, one ourselves, fight over. We didn't know that now. There's nothing over there.
2 and 3. Go ahead.
It's those that are buying the land. After spending the amount of money buying the land, the more buy that you have done. You leave your land just like that. and the state government is not saying anything about it. Go to Enika, go to Ruta. You show positions are common all over everywhere in Ikwerre land. My elder brother bought plot of land in Enika, spent over 15 million naira. That land disappeared like that. Land grabbers. After going to court, after the both parties going to court, they said one party have won the case, they still have to collect another 5 million naira from him. Today, land just went off like that. Yeah. The government should wake up because I know that they know the really of the land. That's my position on this case. Thank you, men of the law.
You're welcome. All right, good. Not satisfied with the answer given when you asked the speaker about knowledge of Obiakpo chairman. If the Ikwerre LGA chairman can intervene in the matter, what stops Obiakpo chairman from doing so? Maybe if the two chairmen put their heads together, something tangible would happen before now. That's from Matthias. You're welcome. Hello, hard far to welcome. Please go on. Hello, you're welcome. Go ahead. Hello, Dio, and the community leaders. Has any of the communities contacted the River State Boundary Commission, statutorily headed by the River State Deputy Governor, Dr. Ipalibo Banigo? That's some text. I'll let you respond to that shortly. Hello, hard far to welcome. Please go on.
Hello, Dio. Good afternoon.
Go ahead, please.
Why will elders, men, not be showing good example to the people coming behind them? Why are we like this? Why would we not be showing good example to people coming behind us? For now, we say it's prayer. You not say defeat. Let me stop here. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Now, someone's asking if you consulted the River State Boundary Commission, but I must say, I mean, in the course of our conversation so far, it doesn't appear that there's any boundary dispute, is there?
Initially,
or is there a boundary dispute as well?
There wasn't a boundary dispute. What we saw was invasion of the land in question. So the issue of boundary dispute, we don't have any. What they just came was the invading of the land, the entire land. So we're not talking of issue of boundary here. That is his activity in last. We're talking about the government. Because activities in Iguta, he chased me away from there. He had his activities around Iguta between Okpoko, who chased me away from there. I'm here to do this. And he's doing this with the aid of some community persons.
All right, so you said that there's a meeting slated for 10 a.m. tomorrow?
Yes, very correct.
Where is the vendors meeting? What is the agenda of it?
The agenda of the meeting is for us to go back to table discussion and profile solutions what to do with the land.
You know, I'm because there wasn't you. This land does not belong to you. You don't have the power to sell it. Stop selling it or don't sell it again.
What we are doing in essence is that the both communities, in fact, the three communities, Mrs. Bless Namadi, the House of Candy for Fire Constituency 201 for House of and Border community and the three communities, so to say, have come together to chase the land grabber away from the land. That is our agenda. And he's been aided by this Amadi and OSPAC chairman of Rumuagholu. You can imagine where the elders are in the communities and OSPAC chairman will begin to discuss issue of land. Because they were the ones selling the land without the consent of their community.
When you say selling, it means some part of the land has been sold.
Of course, that is what I'm telling you, that some part of the land has been sold. When the land grabber will tell that he owns 300 and something plots and a doorman in that matter. The question we see where this will stay.
We want to run conversation. We need to be in a part of my guest that will do the correct comment on security investigation of encroachment in some property jointly by and rooted. Many thanks.
Thank you.
Coming up, the families of beacons about COVID-19 were sick in tears. Please listen.